The mine itself is not the real problem, unless it generates acid-generated rock, and then the acid is starting to mobilize heavy metals and starting to poison fish and whatnot in the water and the other animals. But a mine itself has a footprint of maybe 3 to 5 acres. It's the roads and the transmission lines that are the real problems, because they do two things. One, they open up our backcountry so anybody can get in there with a four-wheeler or a skidoo or a pickup truck. But secondly, it dissects what we call migration routes. This road in the wintertime has made a trail for the wolves. So the predators have an unfair advantage because they have a plowed road to run on, and the moose and the caribou have to run in the snow. So that's where the real problems come in for us.
More than 70% of the resources of the gold that we take out of the ground at this time ends up in vaults in the ground, rarely to be used or seen by its owners. And so what we're doing is we're preserving that vital mineral in the ground at this time, reducing the cost of production, reducing the cost of mine reclamation, lowering risk for investors while maintaining a significant economic value in the high-grade ore deposit that exists in the earth. The idea of working with the earth in partnership is that you're maintaining and enhancing vital ecosystems throughout development. And so we're not on one extreme doing intensive development and invasive exploitation of our natural resources and then reforestation or locking up our forests behind fences on the other side. We're actually integrating the two approaches. And so by working with the earth, she will work with us. And being able to actually incorporate the value of living systems into the design of how we do exploration work in our daily activities in a mining project actually helps us to not only create economic value out of the projects that we're working on, but also to be able to maintain and enhance those vital ecosystems throughout the entire process.
Environmental, social, and governance standards, ESG as they're known, are on the agenda for all businesses now, whether they're publicly traded and required to follow them or just wanting to grow in the future. In reality, to meet these ESG standards, businesses will have to upgrade to a new way of viewing the world, of understanding the world, of looking at what their actions are creating. This is something that has not been done in the past. It has been ignored and left off the balance sheet. But now ESG is causing a shift in business mindset, because in order to meet these standards, there will have to be a new way of approaching reporting. Full value accounting is really a movement towards supporting life economies, economies that support life and that support true abundance. All of life that has value that hasn't been acknowledged or accounted for, and now that's being brought in.
What we're doing with full value accounting at Spirit Rock Resources is being able to value intact living systems. Every being and every aspect within an interconnected system has value. The whole has value. And what working with the land means is to just consider more. Consider all the aspects within an interconnected system.
We can use the Raglan mine, which is over in Quebec, and one of the things, the Makivik Corporation, which is an Aboriginal group that deals with issues such as the mining in their area, and the port is in Deception Bay, and one of the problems with that is in the spring and in the fall, the whales congregate, they sail north. Deception Bay is frozen 4 months of the year. So when the whales are moving through in the spring, and then they come back again in the fall, they congregate there, and then they go south again. Indigenous people there have negotiated with Raglan Mine and came to an agreement with the Canadian government and Raglan Mine that since shipping is the only way to get the ore out, the shipping will stop for 3 weeks in the spring and 3 weeks in the fall to allow the whale migration to go through.
Mining has been, for a very long time, extremely capital intensive and very destructive to the natural ecosystems. There is a significant cost to building a mine and significant cost to mine reclamation.
Well, for instance, the Cassiar mine operated in our country from 1951 to 1992, and they walked away from it. Do you know the asbestos from that mine was found in driftwood on the Mackenzie River? That's how far that asbestos has migrated, and nobody has cleaned it up. Those asbestos waste piles are still there today. The asbestos mine is still there. They had a $25 million reclamation bond. Well, $25 million wouldn't clean up the waste pile, never mind the full environmental degradation that was caused. So we're talking now that probably a mine like that would need a minimum of $200 million reclamation bond, not 25 million.
What we're proposing with Spirit Rock Resources is that we keep the gold ore in the ground at this time, and we don't need to then bear the costs of building a mine or mine reclamation or loss to the environment. We have a very unique process that we have developed over many years, working with leading technologies in geoscience, engineering, data management, and finance to support our approach. By working in partnership with the local community, we are able to establish a robust data set that is developed by the people who have lived on these lands for more than 12,000 years.
Geographic information systems, GIS, really increase the capability of reporting systems to capture data, and it really is going to allow us to work with communities. So the knowledge that's held in the community is very important, but the technology now helps to enhances that because it works with it, and it allows that data capture very easily, real time, and in different layers, and patterns and statistics can be brought into it, and drone technology and all of that, but it still comes back to traditional ecological knowledge that is going to work with that. So it's going to work in synergy to be able to really measure everything that we've been talking about in full value accounting, and that's the value of the natural world.
Well, the big thing, and the Tahltans are doing it, is we have a Tahltan Heritage Environmental Assessment Team. There's 21 people on that. And they're mostly Tahltans, but we have hydrologists and biologists, and our chair of that board is a chemical engineer by training, a Tahltan. And so we do all the assessment of this. And we tell people point blank, you can't build a road along that creek, along the Tahltan River, for instance, because when you put clay into the water, it goes and it silts in our spawning beds. So we make sure those are the kind of things that we bring to your attention, because most mining companies and people who are doing this don't have a clue where those spawning beds are. But that's what Tahltan knowledge is. We know where they are, and we say stay away from there. We know where the grizzly bear and black bear denning areas are, and we say stay away from there. And we know where the moose are going to calf a lot of places, and we say stay away from there. We know where there's salt licks. Everything goes to a salt lick because everything needs salt. We say you can't build a cabin or you can't build a road near that salt lick because you're going to kill it. So that's what we talk when we talk about you have to live with nature. You have to understand that salt lick isn't there just to be a salt lick. It's because it's a useful piece of the environment, and every animal uses it.
Blockchain technology is going to be a very important part of this. It is a system, it's a technology that you can't go in and alter, that is transparent, that is accessible, that is going to bring accountability to all these measures so that nobody can go in and tamper with it, and it's going to be there for anyone to see and verify the reporting. So the measurements and all of that are going to be captured in blockchain technology to bring that transparency and accountability.
Investors receive a real ownership interest in a proven and quantified gold asset. Investors will be able to log on to their app from anywhere in the world and track in real time the migratory paths of wildlife, how many salmon are swimming downriver, the quality of the air, the quality of the soil, and the quality of the water. The time is now. We have the opportunity to do it now, to get it right, and our future depends on doing things the right way.